going, bros? My name is PewDiePie, and today we're going to be doing a little preview and predictions for UFC Qatar this weekend. I'm probably not going to do a fight night video for every fight night, just considering that most of the Apex cards suck, and I don't care to do a preview for those. Unless y'all want it. I mean, if you do, maybe I might, but as of right now, I think we're just going to stick to numbered cards and big Middle Eastern cards because Uncle Dana loves fucking sucking oil tycoon cock, and that's the only time he ever puts out a good fight night card is when he can go full fucking Donnie mode and blow the shit out of the fucking oil tycoons. So, because of that, UFC Qatar is fucking loaded. We'll go ahead and get started with the early prelims. Where's my damn mouse? There it is. All the way at the bottom, we've got Merrick Bulo versus Denzel Freeman. Merrick Bujlo, however the fuck you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure is a white Muslim versus Denzel Freeman, who's just I'm pretty sure just a regular American guy. Because it's in Qatar, we know exactly where this is going. They've set this up for Merrick Bujlo to get an easy knockout. So more than likely, neither of these NPCs are going to ever turn into anything. Their characters haven't even been unlocked. Nobody gives a fuck. Merrick Bujlo by second round knockout. Moving on. We've got another, oh my god, Nurulio Alviev versus Shamrock. There was a guy in my 8th grade pre-AP history class that his name was Shem. And before class every day, he would take Elmer's glue and he would just it right across my desk. That way, whenever I walked into class, he'd be like, someone left white sticky stuff all over your desk, bro. And I'd have to clean up Elmer's glue. So, because of that, I guess we're rocking with Nurulio because he's another white Muslim. And this is in Qatar. So, Shamrock, R.I.P. bud. Nurulio Alviev via wrestle fucking for 3 rounds. Moving on. Ismail Nardayev versus Ryan Loder. Ironically enough, Ismail Nardayev looks like an Italian and Ryan Loder looks like a Middle Eastern, but turns out it's the other way around. I mean, he's from Morocco, so like it's still the Mediterranean, but what the fuck, dude? Ismail Nardayev looks like he could easily star on The Sopranos, and Ryan Loder just looks like the average Muslim male. This is tough. This is a really tough one. Ismail Nardayev, because his name. Moving on, via decision. Moving on, we've got Beksat Almakhan versus Alexandre Tupuria. This is the first fight that actually fucking matters. Beksat's a pretty decent fighter. I want to say his only losses are to Umar and someone else that's got a pretty... Who is Beksat lost to? Umar, and this happened 5 years ago, so it really doesn't matter. He has a whole bunch of nobodies on his resume, though. Ooh, his debut was against Umar, and he took Umar to a decision. Yeah, we're definitely rocking with Beksat on. Ooh, but it's Topuria's baby brother. Is baby Topuria? This is actually a really interesting fight. I think baby Topuria's probably got good enough grappling to where he won't get smudged for 3 straight rounds. But Beksat, I mean, his only recent loss is to Umar. And Umar's really good. And he lost by a decision. I'm going to go with Topuria via decision just because I'm not going to pick against Topuria. Moving on. We've got, Jesus Christ, Abdul Rahman Yakyayev versus Rafael Cerqueda. I guarantee this is one of those situations where it's like, who the fuck is Abdul Rahman Yakyayev? I've never heard of this guy. I've heard of Cerqueda, though. I'm going to pick Cerqueda. And then Abdul Rahman Yakyayev dunks his nuts on Cerqueda's forehead. and gets a, like, I don't know, a TKO within the first 2.5 minutes. I think that's exactly what this is set up to be. This is Yakyayev's fucking debut in Qatar, and he's a white Muslim. Do I need to say more? Yakyayev via first round KO. Moving on. We've got Nicholas Dalby versus Jesus. Segid Izagakmaev. Nicholas Dalby versus another character that has not been unlocked yet. This is like, what is it? In Marvel Ultimate Alliance, when you're picking the characters and the silhouettes are all blacked out. So, Nicholas Dalby's legit, though. Even though he just got colded by, I want to say, Randy Brown, Nicholas Dalby's legit. I want to say he took Fakhretdinov to a decision, and I think he won that fight. So, It's been like 6-7 months since Dalby's last fight, so I don't think that it's been, I don't think it's too close for him to get chinned again. I don't feel comfortable picking the fighter who hasn't been unlocked yet. We're rocking with Nicholas Dalby via decision. Moving on, Bogdan Grad versus Luke Riley. Luke Riley. Isn't that the former Lakers head coach? The one that went to Sacramento? Isn't that the name of former Lakers coaches? Luke Walton. I don't know why I thought Riley. Yeah, that's definitely not him. Bogdan Grad versus Luke Riley. Bogdan Grad's last fight was against who? Naimov. And he... Yeah. This seems like another trap. Although I just said that I'm not going to pick the guy who hasn't been unlocked yet, we're going with Luke Riley via decision because fuck it, why not? Moving on. The next fight that actually matters. Kyoji Horiguchi versus Tagir Ulanbekov. Tagir's pretty decent. He's pretty alright. Who's he lost to? Who was his last fight? Beat Clayton Carpenter and Cody Durden. He was supposed to fight somebody called Maxim. But Kyoji Horiguchi's been around since fucking DJ days. Horiguchi's been around forever. And he's legit. He's got good grappling. He's not like a DJ level grappler, but he is still a really solid grappler. Undeniably. But Ulanbekov, I want to say, is like a solid 10 years younger than him. Because Horiguchi's like 35. Let's see. 35. Oh, Ulanbekov's only 34? Yeah, we're rocking with Horiguchi for sure. Kyoji Horiguchi, decision, more than likely. I think it's going to be a lot of back and forth grappling, but more than likely 29-28. Horiguchi probably gets the second and the third. Ulanbekov probably comes out, looks really solid in the first round, and then Horiguchi probably figures him out, pieces him up on the feet, does well in the scrambles. I think Horiguchi 29-28 decision. Moving on, we've got Alex Perez versus Asu Almabayev. Even though they're different weight classes, I always get Alex Perez and what the fuck is homeboy's name? Rob Font. I always get him and Rob Font very mixed up. I don't know why. Probably because they're both... Are they Brazilian? No, they're both American, but like they're Hispanic. They're both Hispanic American. Is this just racism? Is that the only reason why I think they're similar? Is it just racism? Because if so, I'd be a little disappointed. I was expecting a little more, but I think it might just be racism. But either way, Alex Perez got fucked up by Tatsuro Taira, blew his knee out, and then took like a year off. So Almabayev is a really good grappler. It's been a long time since Alex Perez has fought. I think he's probably a little too old. I think we're rocking with Asu Almabayev. I think he probably puts him in a pretzel second round submission. I think Perez will probably do an okay job of staving off the submission for a round, and then he'll get caught. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Moving on. We've got Sergey Spivak. I think he's a great fighter. Versus Shamil the Blob Gaziev. I always get Sergey Spivak and Marcin Tybura, however you say his first name. I always get Spivak and Tybura like this. They're the same guy. They're both fat Slavs, dude. Does anything? I don't need to. Yeah. Well, I'm saying that when the GOAT is also on screen, and the GOAT also happens to be a fat Slav too. So maybe I shouldn't be slandering like that. But obvious. It's obvious. Shamil the Blob Gaziev is going to get this one done. I think Shamil is probably going to walk in there, order way too much food, and just lay on Sergey Spivak afterward. I think Shamil the Blob Gaziev. This is not even a funny bet right now. I'm just fucking blabbing. I'm just fucking blabbing. But no, Shamil the Blob Gaziev, I think. Alright, we're just going to restart this whole segment. Sergey Spivak versus Shamil the Blob Gaziev. My heart says one thing, but my head says something else. My head says Sergey, but my heart says Shamil. And I can't betray my heart. We're rocking with Shamil the Blob Gaziev. Even though his fight against Rosenstrike is arguably one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in the sport of MMA, that was like a year ago. And Shamil's still in the UFC, and Rosenstrike's not. I know it's absolute fucking bullshit that Rosenstrike got cut, but we're just going to pretend for the sake of it that Shamil is the better fighter at this point. The title walk starts now. I think Shamil the Blob Gaziev is literally going to eat Sergey Spivak. Probably decision, though. More than likely. Probably decision. Moving on. We've got Jack Hermansson versus Miktabek Orolbai. This is one of the weirdest fights I've ever seen. What a fucking strange, crazy matchup. Former middleweight Jack Hermansson is moving down to welterweight, while Miktabek Orolbai is moving up from lightweight. I don't understand it. What a strange matchup. I don't know. I mean, I'm really leaning towards Orolbai just because he's got the youth. Orolbai is in his prime. Hermansson is out of his prime. Hermansson really got fucked up by RoboCop. Yeah, his last fight was against RoboCop. And he got fucked up. It's crazy that he beats Joe Pyfer, disappears for a year and a half, gets fucked up by RoboCop, and is back in less than 6 months. I don't understand it. But what a strange fight. Lighter man skill, Lucas Tracy, lighter man skill. Miktabek Orolbai is 2 divisions lower than the shitty middleweights, but that's a fucking 30-pound weight difference. 30 pounds. 3-inch height advantage and a 7-inch leg reach advantage. I don't know if Orolbai is going to have the size to deal with Hermansson. I'm not super confident about this one. I think Orolbai is going to win this one. I'm picking Orolbai via decision, but I really wouldn't be surprised if we had another situation where Jack Hermansson just kind of lays on top of Orolbai, and Orolbai's too small to do anything about it. Like the fucking Shevchenko Wei Li fight that just happened this last weekend. Wei Li was just too damn small. She couldn't do anything. She wasn't strong enough. And, things are different for men, obviously. But 30 pounds and 3 inches of height is a lot. That's a huge difference. I'm going to rock with oral by. We're not going to be fence time MMA here. We're not going to be fence sitting this one. We're definitively picking oral by, but don't be surprised if Jack Hermanson wrestle fucks him for 3 straight rounds. Moving on, up the card, we've got Volkan Ozdemir versus Alonzo Menifield. I don't think Alonzo Menifield is all that good. I think Ozdemir still probably got it. I think that, based on common opponents, they both got knocked the fuck out by Olberg, but Carlos Olberg has made a lot of improvements in between the time from him fighting and starching Menifield from the time of him beating Ozdemir, which I don't think Menifield's that good. I just don't think so. I think Menifield's probably going to get fucked up. I think round 2 TKO. I think round 1, it might be pretty close, but round 2, Ozdemir's going to pull away. I think he's going to really, I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm picturing, like, he's going to be doing a lot of body work. Menifield's going to try and, like, defend the body. And then Ozdemir's going to throw a really sneaky hook. And I think he's going to catch him, probably put him down, follow up, hammer fist, hammer fist, hammer fist, TKO in the second round. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. So, Ozdemir, second round TKO. Moving on, we've got, me wife said if I beat below, I'm allowed 3 extra hours on me 3DS. Ian Cocciato Ferry versus Bilal Muhammad. Oh, boy. Ian, you got to do a better job of representing us, man. You can't be out here representing the entire country of Ireland and literally, like, have your wife's ex-husband live in your house as one of your personal trainers. That just can't happen, dude. You cannot be representative of us. You gotta drop you gotta drop Yoko Ono, man. You're out here iDubbbz maxing, all right? Anissa, you're married to Anissa. You're married to Yoko Ono, the spirit of Jezebel. Ian Gary, get out of there. We need you back. We need you properly representing the motherland because you're a good fighter. Especially after watching what just happened between CP and Leon Edwards, how Leon Edwards got destroyed by CP. Ian Gary, you own CP, all right? You, Ian Gary, own CP, and now he's ranked top 5 in the division. I think that Ian Gary's a really damn good fighter. However, lock in, bro. Stop being a cuck. Ian Gary, I think he's probably going to get this one done via decision. I don't think he's got the power to put out Bilal cold. I think Bilal's got a really good chin. But based on his fight with JDM and knowing Ian Gary's counter grappling, I think that Ian Gary's probably going to be the next title challenger. Deadass. I think that the next welterweight title fight is going to be between Islam Makhachev and Ian Gary, which, what the fuck? You got a devout Muslim taking on a 3-letter word I can't say on YouTube. Yeah. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. All right? Free Palestine. This is just a joke, but literally we have a jihadist taking on a cuck this weekend. And ironically enough, I think that the jihadist is probably going to get cucked. I think that Ian Gary is probably going to do bad things to Bilal Muhammad, and I think that he's going to win a very dominant decision. If this is a 5-rounder, I really wouldn't be surprised if it was a 50-45 or 49-46. If it's a 3-rounder, 30-27, 29-28, Ian Gary. Yeah, Ian Cocciato Ferry gets this one done. Moving on. Armin Sarkarian. He's a great fighter. But I want to be a contrarian so bad. I want to so bad. I said in my original video for the preview that I'm taking Dan Hooker. I lied. I can't. Armin Sarukian's going to do bad things to this man. Armin Sarukian's going to fuck up Dan Hooker. I know we're not supposed to do MMA math. I know MMA math is bad, but Dan Hooker had a really close fight with Gamrot. Gamrot just got destroyed by Oliveira, and Armin beat Oliveira. I know we're not supposed to do MMA math, but I want to sit here and say, oh, Dan Hooker's a stylistic nightmare. He's a marauder. Dan Hooker just likes to go in there, bite down on the mouth guard. It doesn't matter what you do to him, he just keeps marching forward. He's a marauder. I want to sit here and say all these things. I just don't think that's going to happen, though. I think Arman Tsarukyan is going to... I think he's going to rape Dan Hooker. I think he's going to stick it so far up Dan Hooker's ass, we see Arman's fucking tip poking out of Dan Hooker's mouth. I think it's going to be that bad. I think this is going to be one of the most dominant performances of all time. And I think Arman probably gets it done third or fourth round TKO after just beating the shit out of Dan Hooker on the ground. I think Dan Hooker might have a couple moments on the feet. Arman's just going to do a judo trick. He's just going to fucking ankle pick him, push his ass down, and then just beat the shit out of him. Throw nasty elbows, throw a bunch of hammer fists. And he's gonna rape Dan Hooker. That is my prediction. Dan Hooker, I'm sorry, you're one of my favorite fighters, but you are getting sodomized this weekend. All right, everybody, thank you all very much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and make sure you check out the main channel where I do all of my main channel videos. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.